On the World News tonight, federal government launches intensive technical training program for mining professionals. Sarah demands urgent intervention of President Tinubu to avert breach of international law. Plus, President Tinubu's media aide resigns. Hello and welcome to the World News, coming to you live from the studios of Rstv Television here in Port Harcourt. I am Ogboka Umida. Do you love and care about Rstv and our peace? Let's build and take her to greater height. It is a task we must accomplish. Now the news in details. Rstv Administrator, retired Vice Admiral Ibokete Ikwe Ibas, says with the process of healing, rebuilding and restoration of confidence in the state, as the restoration of confidence in the state intensified, Rivers people should not allow mere differences in opinions divide them anymore. Vice Admiral Ibas gave the advice
and dutifully commit ourselves to bringing peace. We are in the process of healing and rebuilding confidence and trust in ourselves. Looking around here, I can see we are all from different mosques and communities within the state. Looking at how you are dressed in diversity, you have various dresses, you can see the beauty that lies in it, other than us all coming from one unit. And we also recall that when God created the earth, He brought man and woman together, that we should come together, multiply, and fill the world. Of course, there is that charge that wherever you are, you must also love your neighbor. Who is your neighbor here? Who is your brother? Your brother is your neighbor. Who is your neighbor? Your neighbor is your brother as well. And so if we love our neighbors the way we love ourselves, I think the world will be a better place. And so I call on you to use this very special occasion to rededicate yourself to service, to rededicate yourself to humility, to rededicate yourself to love. We must do away with anything that brings hatred, anything that divides us. Living peacefully does not mean that there is no differences in our opinions. But when we have differences in our opinions, we should be able to come together and address these differences without malice, without hatred, such that when we live, we can also see ourselves as brothers and sisters.
The leader of the delegation, Squadron Leader Y.M. Hussein, said the festival is a powerful reminder of their common humanity and they are commanded to care for one another. Tamunobarabi Ibulubo, Rstv News.
Federal Executive Council has endorsed the landmark 10-year National Urban Development Policy that introduces metropolitan planning commissions and embraces the innovative 15-minute city model to transform Nigeria's rapidly expanding urban regions. This disclosure was contained in a statement published recently on the official website of the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, which described the policy as a landmark decision aligned with the federal government's commitment to sustainable urbanization. The statement noted that the new policy aligns with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda and reflects Nigeria's commitment to the Sustainable Development Goals, the New Urban Agenda, the Paris Agreement, and the African Union's Agenda 2063. The ministry noted that with projections estimated that over 70% of Nigeria's population will live in urban areas by 2050, a coherent and inclusive governance structure is urgently needed to guide future growth. In a strategic move to strengthen Nigeria's mining sector, the federal government has launched an intensive technical training program for mining professionals in partnership with the Australian government. The initiative is a key outcome of the Nigeria-Australia collaboration with the support of the Commonwealth government aimed at addressing skill gaps in the mining sector and deepening bilateral ties between the two countries. Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dr. Dele Alake, launched the Capacity Enhancement Program for the first batch of Nigerian mining professionals at Murdoch University, Australia, said the program also includes field excursions and engagement with leading experts in mining operations, sustainability and investment. Backed by the Australian government and the Australian High Commission in Nigeria, the two-week pilot program will train 11 Nigerian professionals in key areas such as extractive, metallurgy, sustainable geochemistry, and mineral science research. The minister commended the leadership of Murdoch University for their openness and commitment to strengthening global cooperation in the mining sector. He encouraged participants to embrace the opportunity and return to Nigeria, ready to influence policy and practice in the extractive industry. Senior Special Assistant to President Bola Tinubu on Public Affairs, Aliyu Audu, has resigned from his position, raising concerns about the ruling All Progressives Congress APC's push towards a one-party system. In a resignation letter dated June 8 and submitted via the President's Chief of Staff, Femi Gbajabiamila, Audu stated, "I write to formally tender my resignation as Senior Special Assistant to the President on Public Affairs, effective immediately." In a follow-up public statement, Audu clarified that his resignation was not an act of rebellion, but a matter of principle and conscience. He expressed unease with what he described as a growing effort to stifle political opposition in Nigeria. Audu criticized the current administration's approach to dissent, warning against authoritarian tendencies reminiscent of past regimes. In his words, Audu said, "If we now begin to silence or crush opposition simply because we have the upper hand, then we are no different from the very system we once criticized." While Audu acknowledged the expressed support for some of President Tinubu's economic reforms, he made it clear that he could no longer align himself with the administration's political direction. He specifically pointed to what he called the unholy alliance between President Tinubu and FCT Minister Nyesom Wike as emblematic of a broader departure from progressive values. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has called on President Bola Tinubu to urgently intervene and stop the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nyesom Wike, from shutting down 34 foreign embassies in Abuja over unpaid ground rents. In a statement posted on X, formerly Twitter, today, the rights group warned that such an action would constitute a breach of international law and violate long-standing diplomatic protocols. President Tinubu, it said, should urgently caution and direct the FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, to immediately withdraw the threat to close down 34 embassies in Abuja, SERAP stated. According to SERAP, any attempt to forcibly shut down or repossess embassy properties would be illegal under international law, citing Article 22 of the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, which guarantees the inviolability of diplomatic missions. The Article 22, Paragraph 1 of the Vienna Convention states that the premises of the mission shall be inviolable, the group noted, adding that Paragraph 3 further affirms that the premises of the mission, their furnishings, and other property thereon, and the means of transport of the mission shall be immune from search, requisition, attachment, or execution. Do you love and care about River State and peace? Let's build and take her to greater height. It is a task we must accomplish. Still to come, US-China in talks to end trade war. And in sports, Simon rejects move to another fresh club. Details shortly.
A mother's timeless love shines through and remains unconditional. Show some love to mom.
When malaria won't show power for your side, it can knock you down. I'm a temp soft gel. I can tell you no say, malaria medicine when no get bad days, or bitter days for mouth, and it easy to swallow. Try. I got red game changer. I'm a them soft gel.
Say no to malaria. Yes to life.
You do not lie, you do not fail. What is hard for you to do?
Are you ready? Wait for it. It's another Dr. Jesus Night with Coconut. Omega Power Ministries, OPM Worldwide presents Dr. Jesus Night with Coconut. It is a night of total healing and deliverance. It is a night where power is released. It is a night of instant miracles and breakthroughs. It is a night of total restoration. Your story will change. You will possess your possessions. Your mess will become your message. Your situation must turn around for good, and you will rise again. Hallelujah. Date Friday 6th June 2025. Time 8 p.m. till dawn. Venue OPM headquarters, Dr. Jesus City Mbodo Alo, River State. Come with your coconut and encounter the raw power of God.
OPM, Dr. Jesus in action. Dr. Jesus in action. God is here.
No matter what I do, you love me unconditionally. You show up for me every day. No matter when I show you, you show me love. You show me love.
A mother's timeless love shines through and remains unconditional. Show some love to mom.
This is Rstv World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. Rstv, Channel 22 Port Harcourt.
You're still watching the World News coming to you live from the studios of River State Television here in Port Harcourt. Moving on now, police have ended their 2-day stakeout of an apartment block in which Cameroon's main opposition leader, Maurice Kamto, had been staying after he returned from France, where he had held a political rally that inflamed the ruling CPDM party. Law enforcement officers blocked the 71-year-old from leaving the building in the main city of Douala for a meeting with members of his Cameroon Renaissance Movement CRM party. He later called off plans to hold a meeting on Monday and left for the capital, Yaoundé. Kamto plans to contest the presidential election later this year, hoping to end 92-year-old Paul Biya's 4-decade grip on power. Biya has not yet declared whether he will stand for re-election. Kamto spent 9 months in detention after contesting the 2018 poll, when the authorities accused the former law professor of insurrection following protests by his supporters who claimed that the poll had been rigged in favor of Biya. The government denied the allegation. A new round of talks aimed at resolving the trade war between the US and China have started in central London. A senior US delegation, including Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick has met with Chinese representatives such as Vice Premier He Lifeng at Lancaster House to resolve tensions between the world's two largest economies, which is threatening global growth. Chinese exports of rare earths, which are crucial for modern technology, as well as Beijing's access to US products, including computer chips, are expected to be high on the agenda. The new round of negotiations follows a phone call between Donald Trump and China's leader Xi Jinping last week, with the US president described as a very good talk. Last month, Washington and Beijing agreed a temporary truce over trade tariffs, but each country has since accused the other of breaching the deal. Now sports. Super Eagles winger Moses Simon will not move to another French club this summer, even though he is expected to end his sixth stint with Anthony Cambero's side this summer. The 29-year-old has 1 year left on his contract with the Canaries and has been linked with a move away from the club. Olympique Marseille, Stade Rennais and newly promoted Paris FC are reportedly interested in the former Levante player. According to French news outlet Live Food, Simon has ruled out a move to French club. The pacey winger wants to join a club outside France. He has been linked with a move to Premier League club Everton. Still on sports, for the second successive year, the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Lagos, will host the grand finale of the President Federation Cup competition, which is scheduled for Saturday, 28 June. The compact but dainty facility by the waterfront hosted last year's grand finale, in which El Kanemi Warriors defeated Abia Warriors to emerge winners of the men's competition, while Rivers Angels edged Niger Rattles 1-0 in the women's version. The venue is also the site of the former King George V Stadium, which was later renamed Lagos City Stadium and later known as Onikon Stadium. Lagos State has hosted a total of 60 grand finales of Nigeria's oldest cup competition, which was known variously in the past as Governor's Cup, FA Cup, Challenge Cup, and Federation Cup. Of the 60 final matches, 18 were staged at the King George V between 1945 and 1962. The venue was then renamed Lagos City Stadium and continued to host the final matches until 1972, when the clash between Mighty Jets and Bendel Insurance was stalemated at 2-2 and had to be replayed. The replay was taken to the Liberty Stadium in Ibadan, and that was the first time the final was played outside Lagos. The National Stadium Surulere, which was built in the 1972 to host the second All-Africa Games that Nigeria staged in 1973, commenced hosting of the grand finale in 1974. As there was no competition in 1973 due to the second All-Africa Games and maiden edition of the National Sports Festival, the National Stadium Surulere hosted a total of 22 final matches, with the last final there in 2002, when Julius Berger defeated Yobe Desert Stars 3-0 to emerge champions. This year's grand finale will see surprise Parklets Abakaliki FC of Ebonyi taking on Kwara United FC of Ilorin in the men's final, where Wild Cup holders Rivers Angels of Port Harcourt will tackle Nasarawa Amazons of Lafia in a much anticipated women's final. Do you love and care about Rivers State and peace? Let's build and take her to greater height. It is a task we must accomplish. To end the news, a recap of some major stories. The federal government has launched an intensive technical training program for mining professionals in partnership with the Australian government in a strategic move to strengthen Nigeria's mining. This aimed at addressing skill gaps in the mining sector and deepening bilateral ties between the two countries. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has called on President Bola Tinubu to urgently intervene and stopped the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nyesom Wike, from shutting down 34 foreign embassies in Abuja over unpaid ground rents. We had informed you that Senior Special Assistant to President Bola Tinubu on Public Affairs, Aliyu Audu, has resigned from his position, raising concerns about the ruling All Progressives Congress APC's push toward a one-party state. That's the news. Many thanks for joining us. I'm Uboka Umida. Good night.